For most of my life, I've been combing the world, searching, collecting, analyzing, and preserving ancient artifacts. My journeys have taken me to some very remote and sometimes, well, let's just say interesting places. But what I've discovered is beyond amazing. Magnificent ancient treasures made from common clay to precious metals, and all having great significance even in today's world. Crowns of solid gold, absolutely stunning terracotta sculptures made for ancient aristocracy, and unique and extraordinary vessels of bronze, silver, gold, and lacquer, almost all created with an artistry that was ancient long before the birth of Christianity. In the fascinating and mysterious world of antiquities, join us on a mission to separate fact from fiction and fraud, where the two biggest questions are, is it real, and can you prove it? I'm Michael Teller. Welcome to TKAsianAntiquities.com.
Ruled by an autocrat of emperors and kings. Her people are restless. They want a change. They demand new leadership. And amid the chaos and unrest, the Chinese Communist Party is born.
Old culture, old ideology, old customs, old traditions, all of the olds must be destroyed.
The Cultural Revolution and the anti-dynastic structure that government had at that time meant that people weren't even allowed to pay attention to art and artifacts that dealt with antiquity or even with the antique material. And this went into the universities where it was taken up by students who took it to an extreme, who then at that time, by the hundreds of thousands, went all over the country and went from home to home and smashed all of these treasures, burned and smashed and destroyed all of these treasures that were representative of dynastic China. So there was probably more lost in that very short period of a few years than had been lost actually even through looting, through grave robbing in 100 years. And at the same time, of course, the Chinese are starting to build their new infrastructure, roads. They laid down 60,000 miles of road in a decade. They built theaters. They built whole towns in a matter of a year. Cities, small cities. But to do that, China had been a continuous culture for thousands and thousands of years. They're all like the cities of Troy. One city built on top of another, built on top and built on top of another. And so when you go to lay down new roads, when you go down to lay new sewage systems, you're going to run across something that is representative of a known culture or even an unknown culture that is worthy of study. But the way the system is in China, you only had X amount of time to complete your project, and you would receive a percentage of the entire project. So you might make 300 million, 700 million on the job if you get it all done in one time, or you might make nothing. In this case, where the commercial construction business, government business also, went out to put these huge plans into effect, they were going through layers of different cities. In that case, they would come across tombs one after the other, and all they did was throw sticks of dynamite in each one to blow it up so that they could lay down the basis for the roadway to go through. When we would drive up in the Heshi corridor, which is up in Gansu province in the northwest of China, you could stop along the new big road. There was no traffic, one vehicle every 20 or 30 miles. But you could get out and walk on either side of the road And within a mile, you'd come across maybe 200,000 shards of ancient Chinese ceramics, because that's what was blown up and just kind of left there as rubble on the sides. You could see where an ancient kiln from the 7th century butted right up against almost butted up against the roadway. And on the other side of the roadway, you could see another third of it projecting. So they had actually gone through the ancient kiln site. If you take that area up in northeast China, that part of the world was ruled by the Mongolians for a while, was ruled by the Tibetans for a while, was ruled by the Chinese for a while, was ruled by the Koreans for a long time, and various synthesis of these cultures ruled in that area. And it didn't just happen for a year, it didn't happen for 100 years, it happened for 1,000 years or more. Those sites would provide more information as to how that whole part of the world developed than going through all of the major tombs in that whole part of the world. And so when you do discover these pieces, and most of them are unknown, every time you go to a new archaeological site, you're going to find something unknown. And that unknown, if it's taken and studied, can change history. There is no media that doesn't need protection of some sort, even stone. We offer the ability to authenticate it, and then to provide the means to conserve it, preserve it, and we also have the means to do the restoration. This is what we do.